Guess what time it is? It's time for Chris's Kitchen. Welcome back. It's been a long time. Today I'm making a couple different things. I'm going to try to make restaurant style Aroz Con Pollo because you cannot find Mexican restaurants down here, which is crazy. I'm in Florida now. I used to be in Indy. Every street corner was a Mexican restaurant, right? You come down here, it's like you got a little bit of Mexican takeout, but there's no like sit down, eat chips and salsa, this sort of thing, and have the Aroz Con Pollo they had. And I've actually like YouTubed Aroz Con Pollo a lot, and come to find out, it's really not easy to find a recipe that's like the one in the Mexican restaurants. One of the Mexican restaurants always comes with cheese and rice, and the ones online, not so much. So, with that being said, we're going to try to make Chris's version of Aroz Con Pollo, okay? So, this is my new apartment in Florida, no longer in a house. I have some chicken thighs here. We're going to season those. We're going to start those. They've already been washed. Some of the fat's been cut off. And we're going to start those before we start the rice. Of course, I haven't even got the rice out yet, now that I think about it. The rice in here, extra protected. Unfortunately, this apartment likes to have ants everywhere you go. All right, so there's our rice, right? So we're gonna make like a Mexican style rice, but not like traditional Mexican style rice because it's Chris's Mexican rice, and also it's kind of like thrown together by stuff that I already have in the kitchen. So here's my stove. This is the pan for the rice. Not sure where to put my camera yet since I haven't done this in a while. Pan for the rice. This is for, I'm going to try to make some molenga. I haven't had it since it was left at my house over a year ago, but I really like it. And unfortunately, I couldn't find the molenga, the traditional molenga. I found something called molenga blanco. So I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if it cooks the same, tastes the same. We're going to find out together, right? I actually already peeled that. And it's just a root vegetable, kind of like a potato. And it's found like in the Caribbean and Latin America. So we're gonna slice that, which something else I've never really done is never bothered to slice anything. I'm gonna make the cheese for the Aroz Con Pollo with Velveeta cheese. I've never melted Velveeta cheese. That's something else that's gonna be new, so we're gonna learn how to do that together. The stove is heating up. First we're gonna do is season the chicken thighs. We got some ground paprika here. Gonna hit that. I'm off tomorrow, so I can have a little bit. It won't hurt my stomach too much. That came out a lot. A lot came out on that. It's crazy. Too much. So a lot of times I'll take all my spices and I'll put them like together in a bowl and just kind of sprinkle them all together. But I just don't feel like bothering to do that right now. So a little bit of paprika. Oh, you know what I forgot? I have this Creole seasoning, which really I don't even need the rest of the seasons because everything is right in here. So we're just going to put some of that on actually rather than put more of the other stuff. I was going to put garlic, cumin. I never put pepper or salt really on chicken because I don't think it's really made for. I mean, there might be some salt and pepper in here, but to me that's not a chicken spice. That's a steak spice, hamburger spice. You know, those kind of meats. All right, got one side. Whenever you're touching raw chicken, try not to touch anything else with your raw chicken hands. You don't want to contaminate anything. It could be bacteria in your hands. And wash your hands as soon as that's done, right? All right. So, seasoned chicken. Don't have a great place for this camera yet. Actually, I mean phone. You know, it's not a real camera. But all right. So we got the chicken seasoned. Now, I'm going to cheat a little bit because I don't have a lot of time. I'm going to air fry. I want to air fry the chicken. And I'm going to air fry it for 10 minutes first because I don't know how long the rice will take overall. This rice, when you make rice, you want to do 1 cup, 2 cups of water normally if you're just making regular rice. You want to simmer it, or you want to bring it up to a boil, then you want to simmer it for 20 minutes. But first you want to bring it up to a boil, but you don't want to leave it on boil. All right, so we're going to get a little parchment paper out. So there's that. That's for the air fryer. Time you cook some in the air fryer, you don't have to use parchment paper, but it helps to clean up. And cleanup is like, they act like it's easy, but it's really a hot fucking mess. Excuse my language. Alright, we're gonna spray it. Anytime you cook in a pan, air fryer, spray it so it doesn't stick. With non-stick spray. Alright. So I got 3 chicken thighs. I don't know how many I'll need. So we're just gonna throw them in the air fryer. And then we're gonna cook them for about 10 minutes, see where they're at, and then we're gonna flip them. 10 minutes at 400 degrees. Wipe the hands. Just like that. Wipe them off. Get this contaminated plate out of here. Alright. Every time I make a video, gotta have a drinky poo. Yeah, we do. Gotta have a drinky poo. Alright. You know, I noticed a lot of people make videos, they have microphones on. I don't have a microphone on, so I don't know how loud this is. Okay. How long, how loud? First thing we're gonna do, we gotta measure out the rice. Measuring cups. So I'm gonna do 1.5 cups of rice. Some recipes I saw they did 2 cups of rice. It's just me and the kiddo, so I definitely don't need 2 cups. Ooh, we just lost a bunch of it. That's gonna be fun. Alright, that's not good. Cup of rice, almost a cup of rice. Oh. Get oil in the pan. What we're gonna do is we're gonna brown it with the oil before we start actually cooking it. But just enough to cover the bottom. Kind of move it around so it covers the whole thing, right? I probably put too much on this. 1 cup. And we'll do another cup. Well, 1/2 cup, because like I said, it's just me and the kiddo. Hit that on the wrong side of the sink. Alright. Like I said, you make 1 cup of rice, it usually takes 2 cups of water. This is 1.5 cups, so a little bit more than 2 cups, but not too much. You don't want to over moisten it to where it takes forever for it to simmer. Because when you cover it and you simmer it, that's where all the moisture comes out, right? So you have fluffy rice and just not wet rice. A long time ago when I made rice, before I learned how to make rice, it never came out right. It was always way too wet. Finally, I decided to use YouTube to teach me, which is pretty much how all my cooking. Alright. You don't want the rice to just sit there, right? Let's see the fan. Oh, you want to move it around. You just want to get it browned up. Let me show you. So there's some browning in the pan. Hasn't browned yet. When it is kind of brown, that's when you know. It only takes like 5 minutes, right? You got a clock right there. Just look at your clock. 5 minutes. You can do some other stuff. All right, this Malengo Blanco, which is not the same Malengo I had before, so I'm a little disappointed. It's very slippery, and I don't really make chips, so I don't know. It's a little brown stuff. I have a slicer, so we're gonna try to slice it, make chips. What you cannot see here. And this bowl was really not big enough for this, but I don't really have anything else. My big bowl has disappeared mysteriously. So I'm just trying to make chips, and it's not going well. I may just cut it because the chips aren't. The sizes, they're just not coming out very well. Like I said, it's hard to hold this, and I don't want to slip and cut myself. So I got a paper towel because this is really slippery. not turning out good. Well, I don't have the real Malinga. I have Malinga Blanco. I don't know why it's called that, but there's probably a reason. These chips. This is like the chips I'm trying to make chips out of this. It's not turning out very well. We're just gonna cut it. Okay. Can't see this very well either. This is my pre-cut Velveeta cheese. And I'm just gonna cut little slices. That's too. See these? So that's why I was trying to use a slicer, because these come out way too big. For Christ's sake. If you don't use a slicer, but the slicer is almost too thin. So where's the middle ground at, right? Unless you're like some expert slicer, which I'm not. Alright, that's enough. Didn't come out great. I'm gonna have to research this Malinga Blanco. There's no Hispanic store anywhere near me. None. You had to go all the way into Tampa for like a Hispanic Latin store. Ay, ay, ay. Speaking of which, that's my 4 Spanish words I know. Ay, ay, ay. Just kidding, I know more. I just don't want anybody. I just don't act like I do. I know poquito. It's a little bit. Alright. So this is gonna be chips, hopefully. Though another thing, I didn't know I'm almost out of oil. So that's another thing. Alright, back over here. So let's pause for just a... Alright, hopefully that just paused and didn't turn it off. It did just pause. Yay! Alright, so now where are we at? We gotta move this up a little bit. Woo! You know, I never read the instructions on this thing. It has like some where you can like remote control the. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, we're browning the rice, and it's starting to get there. So we're gonna turn that down a little bit. What else we got? So with the rice, instead of just 2 cups of water, I'm putting 1 can of chicken broth, and then about another cup of water. Now you can just take this same can, basically get a cup of water. Fill it up to the top. We got a can of chicken broth and a cup of water. When most make Mexican rice, they use like this chicken bouillon. I don't have any, so I just use chicken broth. It'll work. Trust me. All right, now, also, a lot of times people make Mexican rice. They get it all to the point where it's a little fluffy, and they put a jalapeno on the top to let the aroma come out of the jalapeno. I don't have any actual jalapenos. I do have some jalapeno juice. So I'm gonna throw a little bit of that in there. Not too much. A dabble do ya? Dabble do ya? Alright. Now that'll give it a little bit of spice. I'm gonna mix that around. A lot of times they'll also, when they make Mexican rice, they'll make their own sauce. Onion, Roman tomatoes, garlic. We're gonna throw a little bit of garlic in there. Now this is minced garlic that comes pre-minced. So I didn't have to chop anything up, which I've tried buying like regular garlic and chopping it up, and I'm not any good at it. I'm just not. I don't do a good job, so I don't do it. Minced garlic comes ready, chopped up. Why buy garlic other than some dramatic effect, right? All right. Also, usually they'll have that tomato sauce they made themselves. I have tomato, basil, garlic, tomato sauce that I used with my spaghetti last time I cooked it, and it has just enough in there. But we're just gonna throw that in there, and it doesn't go to waste. Don't need very much. There was about that much in there, and that's all I needed. Some of you people use tomato paste, tomato sauce. They'll make their own sauce. We already had that, so we're throwing it in there. All that stuff's in there. We're gonna season it just a little bit with some cumin. Knock knock, cumin. Probably more than I should have done. I do everything by measuring with my eyeballs, right? Except for measuring the rice. Because if you want your rice to come out right, you need to measure that shit. Alright. So now, we're going to bring the rice up to a boil. Which means you go high. You want something to boil, you high heat. Okay? Let's see. Alright, chicken thighs. They're looking pretty good. I don't know really how long it would take to cook them. So I wanted to cook them first. In case I needed more time. Right now they're looking pretty good. I'm going to flip them over. Yeah, they're still pink on the other side. Which I kind of figured they would be. Alright. Flip them over. We're going to give them a little spray. Make sure they don't stick. Alright, we're not going to put them back in. We're going to set them aside. So once this gets closer to being done, then we'll cook the chicken the rest of the way. Also, when that gets close to being done, we will also cook this cheese. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, honestly. La 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 la, maybe this pan. Alright, this is going to be the pan for the cheese. It's a little... These apartments, not bad. For the area, I think I got a pretty good price. Neighbors, they're kind of noisy, but they're not bad. And, all right. That pan's ready. We'll set it aside. Now to make the moringa, I need cooking oil. I thought I had more than what I do though, so I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm just gonna put all that in there. Looks like it's a decent amount. It's probably best to use peanut oil if you have the actual moringa. It probably tastes better. This is more expensive. This is canola oil. I'll put a little bit of olive oil in there too, just to get that ready. Olive oil is expensive too, so it's not something you really want to waste on that. But that's all I got right now. All right, we're going on the back burner. We're gonna go medium heat. Get that ready. This is already boiling. Wow. Okay, we're gonna turn that down. Okay, all the way to low. Once you get that rice boiling, let me show you. All right, we got it boiling. And stir it so it's not sticking. See how it's got all that red flavor in there? All right, now we're gonna cover it, right? And it's all the way down to low, because that's where you simmer at. You simmer low. Now, once it's to that point, 20 minutes. We're at 7:56. Do the math, 8:16, right? The only thing I can do math is add and subtract, ain't nothing else. All right. Now we're gonna heat this pan up. This pan needs to be 360 degrees before you start trying to fry these molingas. I'm not gonna use a thermometer. Professional cook would. And I don't blame them. But I'm not gonna. Here's the molingo blanco. I have to research what the blanco is. Why it's different. Because it's usually they have these like little red stripes in them and stuff. This doesn't. I don't know. I don't know if it'll taste the same. We're gonna find out. We're gonna salt the shit out of them. Salt the shit out of them. There's a jalapeno juice from earlier. We're gonna put that up, okay? Like I said, this is like I'm making like a Mexican rice. I'm throwing the chicken in the rice, then I'm throwing the cheese in the rice. So I make basically the Aroz Con Pollo, which I don't even know the recipe because you can't find it on YouTube. But the Aroz Con Pollo that you get at a Mexican restaurant, it has cheese, it has chicken, and I'm pretty sure it's chicken thighs because they're juicy. So we're using chicken thighs, juicy chicken, the juiciest chicken thighs. And we'll see how it comes out at the end, right? All right, throw this can away. Now, because it's going to be 20 minutes, I'm going to pause for 10 minutes, and then I'll come. We're back. There was a break. You wouldn't know that because it was paused. We got the rice cooked. You got to let it simmer for 20 minutes. We're going to take these malinga, I did it again. I haven't recorded it. We're going to put these in the oil. See what happens. We're just frying the malinga like chips, right? But it's not regular malinga, which is really disappointing to me because I was really looking forward to that. And I don't even know if they use this type of malinga for this. But here we are. Woo! I'm fine, it's probably hot. Alright. Anytime you fry anything, you should have. Let me show you something. One of these. And for boiling eggs, you can get this shit out of there, right? I haven't eaten much today, so I actually was trying to lose weight. I was off this week and I thought, why don't I just eat yogurt and salad all week? Didn't happen, but that was my thought process. And here's the sliced ones. These are so tiny, I don't even think they're gonna come out very good. That one's too big. Yeah, that's a disaster. I bought that slicer for nothing, who cares? I'm just gonna throw these away. Alright, so, hands all slimy from that. Now, I'm gonna attempt to melt this cheese. I'm gonna spray the pan. I don't know if you can do, but just in case. We're gonna spray that pan, make sure it doesn't stick too much. And this is the cheese, and I just got the little pack, and it's probably too much, but I guess we're gonna find out. Honestly, yeah, that's probably gonna be too much. I'm playing Kid Rock in the background. I was gonna play some Eminem, but my kid's here, and I don't want her hearing all the cussing. Although Kid Rock's playing "Love Better." I don't know. We'll see. All right. So that's gonna start to melt. Hopefully. I'm gonna turn it up to medium heat. That's what's recommended. So I didn't think that was gonna be enough cheese, so I got some evaporated milk. We're gonna add that in there. It's gonna thicken up the cheese. Oh, one thing about rice. Once you get it to simmer, you cover it. All right, it's covered. You can't see that shit. All right, see it's covered. You cover it to simmer it. After you bring it to a boil, you bring it to a boil, then immediately turn it to low. Then you let it simmer for 20 minutes. Don't remove the lid until that 20 minutes is up, because the shit will not get done right if you do. All right. Over here I got the chicken. See, that's my little air fryer. Chicken's in there. I should probably check the expiration date on this. Right, right. We're gonna mix that in with the cheese. Probably don't need the whole can. That'll thicken it up some, make it creamy. I always rinse everything out before I put it in the trash because it'll attract ants. You know, if you have roaches, I'd tell them it'll attract roaches. Anytime you leave food out in the sink, you don't wash your dishes, it's not good. Alright, let's get a spoon. How do you say spoon in Spanish? I don't know. I have some Hispanic girlfriends, they never taught me anything. They're too busy running out the door. Alright. So we're gonna melt that cheese up. That, you know what? I'm thinking that wouldn't be enough. And this is gonna be something else. Another big, look at that. Cheese. Velveeta. You can eat it just like that, so it's supposed to be. Alright, we're gonna turn up the heat a little bit on the cheese. It should. What did I use these for earlier? Probably dirty. I'm just gonna flip over this. This really sucks that this isn't normal Malengo. When it said Malengo, it looks smaller than the Malengo I'm used to. It's like, shit. It's not gonna be what I want. So we're flipping the Malengo blanket. Well, I may not even eat it. We'll see. Okay, waste of oil. More mess I gotta clean up. Alright. You know what I need? Financial support. No, I'm just kidding. I need a drink. Oh, I need that too. I wouldn't ask anybody to do it. Not cooking very well. I've never melted Velveeta cheese before, like I said. So this is the first. Alright, let's see something. Mile away. What we got? Here's the rice. Check it out. Look at that. See how fluffy? Can you see that? Look how fluffy that is. See that? It's working really well, actually. You don't want to stir it during the 20 minutes, but, you know, mix it up. Look how good that is. Turning it out. Turning it all red. Look at that. Alright, we're going to continue to simmer that. Alright, we got the Malengo cooking in the background there. And the cheese over here. I'm a professional video maker, don't you know? The rice is going to simmer for about 5-6 more minutes. It'll be done. Alright, this cheese is taking forever. That evaporated milk was too much. You know what, honestly? It's too thin, look at that. You know, this is something if you make cheese sauce, you probably should measure. But it's getting thin. I mean, the cheese itself is melting, so that's good. So the evaporated milk was thickening. It's actually doing opposite. Can you hear the music? We're gonna cover this shit. Help thicken it up. Something to put our utensils in, so don't get crap everywhere. This is starting to get good. This is too much. You probably only need to fry those about 5 minutes, honestly. So we're gonna remove those from the heat. Look at that. It's beautiful. Water dripping everywhere, but it's beautiful. A couple more minutes. Give it a couple more minutes. That is so much rice. I should have just done 1 cup of rice. There's nobody else here to eat it. No. I'm enjoying this shit way too much. Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Let's get another set of kitchen shears. If you don't cut meat with shears, if you still cut it with a knife and a fork, get you some kitchen shears. We're checking the chicken. It's pretty much done. I'm gonna put it in there for 5 more minutes though, because I like chicken to be done. Done. Alright, the cheese probably didn't need the evaporated milk. Maybe a little. Clearly too much. I'm gonna fast forward this video actually, because even though I like the beat, I don't like the content. Stand by. Alright. Now, you can hear me. We're gonna do something. Because I don't know how they do it at the Mexican restaurant. What we're gonna do, look, we got that Mexican rice. Look how good that looks. Oh my goodness. We add in the cheese. We add in the cheese. Look at that. Instead of Velveeta cheese. Watch out. I don't know how much it takes, but that's how much we got. Alright, mix that all in there. Mix that in there. Got that cheesy rice. Take a look at it. It's gonna be so good. Sorry, taking it out. We're gonna cover it for a little bit. Got everything going over here. Got the sink going. I know, I knew somebody once that didn't buy paper towels, and she must have never cooked. That was dangerous. Don't leave paper towels by your stove. They can catch on fire pretty easily. Alright. Let's get these chips out of here. You want to drain your chips. Some people will drain them like on a rack, but you can just drain them on paper towels. These thin ones that I made, man, they just burn. A little something. Alright. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with that oil. There's this would-be Malanga chips, but they're Malanga Blanco. So I don't know how they're gonna taste. We'll go find it. Wiping the stove while someone with those ants coming in. It's still hot, remember that. Stay hot for a while.
Like me.
I am free. Alright, this chicken's done enough. Guess what we're gonna do with it? Aroz Con Pollo. We'll put it in there. This video is actually becoming longer because I'm dancing. Alright. There we go. That was the fat off of it earlier. I recognize that this isn't the best video, especially since you don't see a lot of what I'm cooking. That is what it is. Let's chicken up. Just cut those slices and cut across. Same in there and all that stuff. And cook a little bit. Don't really know. I cooked 3 chicken thighs. There was no like planned amount. How much I thought I would need for the amount of rice that I did. And honestly, I could have done 1 cup of rice. As much rice as figured out. See that? Cutting it into the rice. Woo! Alright, let's look at it again. We're gonna mix it in there. Man, that cheese looks good. God, that came out good. Woo! You know what? I would have. There's a guy here that helped me when I moved, and I would have invited him over for dinner tonight, but he didn't text me back. So sorry, Hector. Should text me back. There's still some more chicken in there. There's more chicken in there in the air fryer. I didn't realize. Oh, and I already washed my shit. I'm just gonna let it go. It's gonna go. All right. Anyways. That's pretty much it.
You can count on AARP auto and home insurance from the Hartford. Benefits and savings that really matter.
Something I don't usually do.
Your protection is our passion.
Yeah. Rice, cheese, and chicken. This is what you get in the Mexican restaurant. For some reason, you can't find this on YouTube. Tastes just like it. It's delicious. If you make it, I hope you enjoy it. Peace.